Well, hey everyone, this is Jeff, and I'm here with a Continue the Journey activity this week that is designed to help you help your kids on their journey to find and follow Jesus. And we're going to call this Continue the Journey activity Paraphrase It. So we're in a series right now where we are helping kids understand extreme ways to live lives for God. And this week we started something called the Daily Snack. We've got on our YouTube channel a 10 to 12 minute video every day that's going to help give your kid just a little tiny snack to help them on their journey. And in that we've got a main point this week that says disciples of Jesus help others even when it costs us. A really extreme way to live, right? Because our society says kind of look out for yourself first and others maybe next. And so one of the extreme tidbits that we're giving kids is we want to really look out for others and their needs and what's going on with them. Now, to tell this story, we had a very familiar Bible story that we used. We find it in Luke chapter 10, starting in verse 30, and it's the story of the Good Samaritan. You know, it's become such a familiar story that people in our society know the phrase, the Good Samaritan, even if they don't know anything about Jesus, anything about the Bible, anything about God. They know the phrase Good Samaritan. In fact, a lot of our communities have Good Samaritan laws. It says if you see someone who needs help and you choose not to help them, you can actually be guilty of a crime. But while the story of the Good Samaritan is so well known, it's really tough, especially for kids to read, because it features a lot of characters and concepts that are just totally foreign to us in 21st century American. I mean, the main stars of the story are a temple priest at the temple in Jerusalem in the 1st century AD, a Levite or temple assistant, depending on which translation of the Bible that you're using. We have no idea what that means. And then a Samaritan, which was not noted as we think of Samaritans as these good, helpful people who help other people. Samaritans were an enemy. The Jewish people considered them absolute, kind of scum of the earth. They didn't want to associate with them. And so this story is really hard for kids to read and really understand. So what do we do with it? It's a familiar story. It's a great story that Jesus told. We want kids to learn from it, but it's hard for them to read. Well, this week in Mark's Double Dog Dare message on Sunday, and if you haven't watched it, hit our YouTube channel. You can watch it anytime on demand. Just go to the Double Dog Dare playlist on our YouTube channel. He shared a whole lot of ways that we can and should study the Bible to become more and more and more intimate with God. And in one of those sections of his message, he introduced a lot of P words that stood for ways to look at the Bible. You could personalize it. You could pray over it. Or the one that we're going to talk about today, paraphrase it. Here's your Continue the Journey activity this week. Sit down with your kids in the Bible. Luke chapter 10, starting in verse 30. Read this short little parable, this story that Jesus tells. And then paraphrase it as a family. Put this into terms of where we are. Write it up, type it up, do something like that. You know, that temple priest, who does that represent in our society? Is that a pastor as a church? Is it a leader in our community? Is it a politician? Who is that? That temple assistant, who is that? That Samaritan. Who is that group of people that we kind of shun in society and don't like? Who is that? Rewrite and paraphrase a story to bring it up into 21st century American terms. This is going to help your kid understand this story so much better and understand this main point this week, that disciples of Jesus help others even when it costs them. For bonus points, once you have it all written out, together as a family, act it out. Maybe each member of your family gets a part. With my family, we'd have to invent parts for some people because it's big. For your family, you might need to double up on some parts. But acting things out with kids, that always helps them really internalize what the story about. Here's the really good news. If you paraphrase a story and you act it out, this is going to create memories for your kid. It's going to create this deep thing that kind of burrows into their brain. And then as they grow up and as they age, they're going to remember this memory, that this time that you paraphrased a story and acted it out and got silly and had fun. And it's going to help them remember what it means to be a follower of Jesus, which really helps them on their journey to find and follow him. You can do this. It's so easy. Have fun this week with Paraphrase It. And I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.